Hi guys, welcome back to another zombies video. Let's just jump straight into it. Today I'm going to be talking about my ideas for a update for the new perks. So apparently new perk is coming out, Mule. Really useful perk to have. I feel like there's been so many situations where I wished I had 3 weapons, and seeing as there's no perk limit as well, it's really useful to have in this game. I think it's a great addition to the perks. Kind of was predicted to be released though. Data miners back in the start of the game found that there was going to be 4 new perks released in zombies. So it was going to be Tombstone, Mule, Double Tap, and PhD Flopper. First I'm going to talk a little bit about the fundamental flaws of Tombstone. No one I know that I play zombies with ever wants to get Tombstone, and it just seems a bit redundant to me. All of the abilities it gives you are useless. For example, when you die in multiplayer, it spawns a Tombstone that you can buy your weapons back with. But then there's the price. It's so pricey. If you die and then spawn back in, you don't spawn in with nearly enough points to get your late game weapons back. If they're both tier 3 pack-a-punch, gold, rarity, then it's gonna take you ages to get enough points to actually buy them, and because you spawn in with your starting weapon again with no pack-a-punch, you have to end up spending more points on pack-a-punching your weapon so you can actually survive than on getting your weapons back. So that's flawed. Also the fact that it can revive you. Now this game is pretty forgiving when it comes to getting downed. For example, self-revives. Now self-revives late game are fairly cheap. Obviously they nerfed it so that every time you down and need to buy a new self-revive, they increase by 50 rare scrap each time you buy one, which is a good addition, right? But it is a simple and easy way to pick yourself up. Then there's another way of doing it as well. If you have quick revive tier 5, then you just kill a zombie and it picks yourself up. And if you have elemental pop as well, when you get downed, it zaps like every zombie in a close radius, which majority of the time kills a zombie, which means you just basically get instantly picked back up. It's a very good way of picking yourself up. But Tombstone is shit, because if you for some reason decided to buy Tombstone before quick revive, then you can turn into this ghost form of yourself, which is super vulnerable, and you just basically have to run around trying to avoid the horde of zombies that downed you in the first place. You regen extraordinarily slowly and try and pick yourself up, which is way more risky than just killing a zombie whilst you're downed when they completely ignore you and you can't be harmed, or holding square. Also there's the tier 5 ability where your perk, it removes perk decay. So whilst you're downed, the bar doesn't go down where you lose perks the longer you stay down for, which I guess is kind of useful, but it's not useful enough, right? If it was like, okay, well, there's no perk decay and you also keep an extra 2 perks, that would actually be useful, or at least add 1 extra perk. So if you get downed and pick yourself up with a self-revive, then you'll have 4 perks instead of 3. But it doesn't do that, it just stops the decay. But the problem with that, the flaw with reducing the perk decay, is the majority of the time you basically instantly pick yourself up anyway, so there's no real reason for you to need to remove the perk decay, because it's already slow enough. Like it's not that good of an ability, so literally never buy it. Fundamental flaw with Tombstone. I went on a bit of a detour there. I just thought it'd be important to explain the fundamental flaws of Tombstone. Now the next perk that's coming out, obviously Mule will be super useful, like I've explained. Double Tap, I feel like Double Tap 2, if they added it to this game, would just like rebalance every weapon to make them like super good in late game. So I feel like that's definitely going to need a bit of balancing. But then there's PhD Flopper. Now that's the one perk that I really want to mainly talk about. So I feel like PhD Flopper is going to be flawed, or at least it's going to be another Tombstone basically, because there's just not enough explosive weapons that deal damage to the player in the game. There's the RPG, the Sigma, the M79, the ray gun, and if you're including score streaks, then I guess the war machine. But other than that, none of the other like 50 fucking weapons in the game deals damage to the player. And the weapons that I just listed, apart from the ray gun and maybe the war machine, are even that effective. Late game, they start dropping off quickly, and instead of taking 1 rocket, it takes 3 rockets to kill a horde of zombies, you know, and it just ends up they're not great. So I wouldn't prioritize having them when you're going for like a late game strategy. So I feel like PhD Flopper is going to be kind of useless in that aspect. They're definitely going to have to buff the perk with different tier upgrades, and the tier 5 upgrade better be something good. PhD Flopper's original abilities was immune to explosive damage, you don't take full damage, and when you dive from a significant height, it would create a small explosive around your feet. Now I feel like they could definitely do something with the explosive falling thing, like they did with PhD Slider in Black Ops 4, right? They could do something similar to that, where one of the abilities, one of the tiered upgrades, is that when you slide it creates explosives behind you. That is something they could do. But I feel like the immunity to explosive damage isn't that useful in this game. And also, you know, the immunity to full damage is already an ability that you get from Stamina Up. It's just basically making this perk seem a bit useless in my eyes. I don't think it's going to be that good. My camera died, unfortunately. Let me just sync this back up. So yeah, to conclude, talking about PhD, it's probably not going to be super effective unless they do a big buff with it, make some like pretty significant changes to the perk with the tier upgrades for it. But I do have an idea for what I'm going to call an explosive update to zombies. If they do this, it will make the perk with the base ability of making you invulnerable to explosive damage, will make that way more useful. Now, my idea for it is to make the Pack-a-Punch effect to be influenced by the attachments you have on a weapon. Now, that doesn't really make that much sense straight away, so I'll explain it to you. Basically, I have an idea where they should make more weapons like the Mustang and Sally, where if you Pack-a-Punch it, it shoots grenades or it shoots explosive stuff, which means that it'll increase the number of effective explosive weapons, meaning that PhD Flopper will actually become useful. Now, the ideas for the weapons I have for this right now is the 1911 and the crossbow. Both Pack-a-Punched aren't shit, they're pretty good. And I'm not saying remove the normal Pack-a-Punched version of them that's currently in the game right now. Here's the idea for the 1911. If you have the attachments fully, if you have them fully like loaded out with all the attachments, right, and then you Pack-a-Punch it, nothing special happens. It's just the normal Pack-a-Punch. It shoots lasers, it does more damage, it has more ammunition in the magazine. Normal shit, right? But if you Pack-a-Punch it with only one attachment, so let's say for example, with the 1911s, if you only have a Kimbo on it and no other attachments, no extra extended mags, no barrels, no muzzles, if it's only a Kimbo on the stock, and then you Pack-a-Punch that weapon, then it will turn into Mustang and Sally. And that's something that I really missed about this game, is the fact that there's no weapons that when you Pack-a-Punch, it becomes like a cool new special kind of gun. Every single gun in the game, when you Pack-a-Punch it, does literally the same thing. It increases the damage and makes it shoot lasers. And there's no exceptions to that, really, apart from maybe like special weapons. When you upgrade a special weapon, it reloads faster. But yeah, no, I think that would be a sick idea to add more explosive weapons. Now, for example, with the crossbow, what you could do is if you had the crossbow with no attachments, no sight, right, and you Pack-a-Punch that, then that would give you the explosive variant of it. So you shoot an arrow, wait 3 seconds, it explodes, and you can shoot it into a zombie that you're training in a horde, and that would explode all of them. But if you're standing too close, it deals quite a lot of damage to you. Now, that would make PhD Flopper useful and effective by adding guns that do explosive damage that are super effective at killing zombies. Also bringing back some fan favorites. Mustang and Sally, and the explosive crossbow was in Black Ops 2. But at least having these weapons be like comparable to the damage comparable to like wonder weapons, for example. If it was like that, then they would be super useful. Everyone would want to have these in their loadout for going high rounds and stuff, whether we either want the Mustang and Sally or the explosive crossbow. So everyone would always need PhD flopper, not to kill themselves with that weapon. I feel like that would make the perk useful. Yeah, so that was basically my idea for a new explosives update. Obviously, this is far in the future. Everyone's expecting double tap to be the next perk to release and PhD flopper to be the last one they release. And seeing as the rates that they are releasing zombies maps at the moment, I don't think it's going to be it's not going to be a short wait, let's just put it like that. But I feel like if they did add Mustang and Sally and the explosive crossbow, it would be a sick change. I would love that a lot. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I remember the last video I made like this, I said I wasn't going to do another one like it, but I've only gone and bloody done it. Yeah, so if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and every upload I've done so far, I've gotten at least one subscriber after it, and it's a small change. I know it's not like getting to 100 subscribers doesn't seem like a lot, but it really means the world when you guys subscribe. I've been doing YouTube for about 5 years now, and hitting 100 subscribers is a big goal for me, and you guys subscribing after every video really means the world. So thank you so much for doing that. If you want more videos, just like I said, leave a like. Yeah, but thank you so much. See you in the next one.
I've been here so long, I wanna go home, wanna see my wife and eat some provolone. Jeez, damn bitch, I wanna leave, but I can't find my keys. Help me find my keys, oh won't you please?